Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting close to getting this thing fired up. I might do a test fire today. If I do, I'll get it on video. But the wiring is all done. Batteries over there. The cables ran, and I'm gonna pretty that up. That's just to get it fired up right now. But I may come in from underneath the battery box, so you barely will see the wires, and I'll come up underneath in the back and then snake over. So there's the battery. Radiator's in. Last chore that I'm gonna have to do is make the radiator hoses, and I got everything to do it. And it'll give me a chance to practice on TIG welding because I got a TIG welder, but I'm not real good at it, and I just haven't had enough practice. So, but the radiator's in. I had to change the air cleaner element to a shorter one to fit in there because it was the red one was all the way up against the fan. The wiring is all done pretty much, except for the interior. So there's that. And I got a good grommet on that. I ran out of grommets. That's why those aren't grommeted, but they will be that size. So, but they're ran, and the wiring is real super clean because the wiring is just that one little cable right there. Comes down. And then, of course, got the relay for the fan, got the ground strap, got the power lead for the fan, and then got a, we have a fuse right there in the line. So that right there, actual shove it beneath there. That'll be nice and connected. And let's see, we'll come around to the back. The back's all done. Like I said, the only thing I have to wire in now are the aftermarket gauges. The rear wiring is all done. It's all cleaned up in here. So that wiring comes down from the back. That's the rear lead. Comes in, snakes around there. Deutsch connectors for the tail lights. And that comes off, tees off for the fuel sender. Deutsch connector there. Comes back in, tees on, or it goes to that tail light, Deutsch connector. This kit wasn't wired for a reverse light. So I'm gonna have to put another switch in there for it. And I got a wire ran back here. That is a third brake light wire, but there's no third brake light on this car. And there might be, I might put one up on the package tray, you never know. And like I said, the inside needs to be finished wired up. I got my 7-inch dash there, that's all wired up. The only thing that's left is the steering column for the turn signals and the aftermarket gauges, and that's all pigtailed right there. Oh, and then there's extra wires down there for, that is for accessories, so you can run accessories. And I do got to wire in my brake light switch. So I got a choice whether I'm either going to go to pressure switch in the line, which I'm leaning heavily towards, or a mechanical one with an arm that comes off the brake pedal right down there. So today is the day I'm going to try and fire it up. We filled the tranny up yesterday, filled the engine oil up yesterday. Power steering's all full. The only thing, like I said, the only thing we have to run is the coolant, but I might cold start it, just let it run for a second to see how she does. And then, yeah, then it's just clean up and make her look pretty after that. So, yeah, radiator's in. Looking good, man. Everybody looking good. It's been a long, long road. Underneath is all done, all wired, buttoned up. Got heavy duty ground wires connecting the motor to the frame. So yeah, she's good. She's good. Yeah, and everything's hidden. Everything. So everything for that comes out of the firewall down there, so you really can't see it. Firewall remained clean, so I can do ornamental stuff up here without any impediment. All the control wires run up in the tunnel and go straight up behind the manifold, up into the dash. And all that area behind there is clear, so at some point I can put a vintage air system in it, and I can put the bulkhead right there. So, yeah. This car, it's funny because A lot of people are like, you got to plan, you got to do this, you got to do that. I just started building. And everything, I got lucky because when you do something like this, you're always thinking 3 or 4 steps ahead before you do something. So the methodology is, I want a flat firewall, but I want plenty of space behind it. And then, like I said, enough room to do some more metal stuff on top. But all the form and function kind of melded pretty good with this car. I did order another steering column because I'm going to go with a chrome steering column that's got all the updated wiring. I know. But that one works really well. I just don't trust the wiring because the wiring is, what, 70 years old, 60-something years old. But getting back to the form of function, you know, everything was done with the function in mind, and then the form that really kind of augmented that, you know, worked well with it. So everything in the car just kind of fell really together. And there was a lot of work into this car, like a lot of work. And if you go back through the videos, you'll see just how much work there was into this car. But it's finally starting to get to where it's drivable on its own. And I can't wait for that, because then that means the heart's beating and it's a living organism at that point. And then we start prettying it up, like finishing the bodywork on the roof and the pillars, and then trying to match the patina, or I might do some custom paint job on the roof and split it right around the belt, right around there, boop, all the way around. But I want to keep that patina. I love that patina. So yeah, we're starting to get there. It's starting to get exciting. You know, all the months and months and months, actually years. I think I've been working on this thing for, what, 2 years now, in between other projects. So yeah, she's coming around. Anyway, peace out, people. Thank you for viewing.